Welcome to the Pennsylvania Association for College Admission Counseling's virtual college fair. Thank you very much for joining us today. Before we get started with our presentation, just a few quick housekeeping items to go over. The first is that attendees are welcome and encouraged to ask questions to any of the panelists at any time utilizing the Q&A feature. You can pose your question to a specific panelist, or you can ask a question to any and all of the panelists. Also, just a reminder that your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists will not be able to see or hear you. And there are 2 other blocks of sessions this evening, so please do feel free to sign up for those if you haven't already done so. About 1 week from today, a recording of the session will be available on that same registration website. Without further ado, I'd like to go ahead and introduce our first university, which will be the University of Rochester.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being with us today. I'm going to start sharing my screen. All right. So hello, my name is Juan Puello, and I'm admissions counselor here at the University of Rochester. 6 minutes isn't nearly enough time to tell you all about the amazing things about this school, but I'll just do my best to give you the biggest highlights. So also feel free to ask questions along the way. Ready? So we're located in upstate New York. So Rochester is about 6.5 hours from New York City. That's something to keep in mind because yes, we're located in New York State, but we're a little bit farther than from New York City than other people think originally. So that's something to keep in mind. We're really close to Toronto. Being so high up, we get to experience all 4 seasons, which is one of my favorite things. So yes, it can get cold during the winter, but also we have a lovely fall, very warm summer, and a beautiful spring. So a little bit of beautiful things that we have in Rochester. Here's a picture of the River Campus, which is the main hub for student activities. So this is where you're spending most of your time as a student. This is where your main academic buildings are. Your residence halls are all here. 2 dining halls, 1 athletics facility. There's 1 arts center. Main libraries are all here. So everything's going on the River Campus. You're only required to live on campus your first 2 years, but around 90% of students will live on campus all 4 years because they want to be close to what everything's going on. Also located, we're pretty close to the downtown area of Rochester. We're about less than a 15-minute drive. And then that's what the Eastern School of Music is, which is if you're also interested in music performance or music education, that's something I encourage you to look into. And then also another good thing that I want to tell you guys is about the University of Rochester Medical Center, which is located on towards the right of the River Campus. So that's a great, not only a fully functioning hospital, but also a research facility for our students. If you're interested in your biologies or chemistries, your pre-meds, this is definitely a great place for you to do those networking opportunities, get part-time jobs, work, meet with doctors, work in research labs. Those kinds of things are very beneficial for our students. So that's something that I also encourage students to look into. So as far as student life, we have a bunch of things going on campus. We really want to make sure that this is going to be your home for all 4 years. So we want to make sure that it feels like home, right? Whether that's not only our academics, but also the things that you do extracurricularly with your fellow classmates and your hallmates. There's a lot of things going on. 300 student groups and organizations, and more keep being developed every year. Basically, it's really easy to make a club. Just find 6 people with similar interest, and boom, you have a club. We really want to make sure that students can find that piece of home where they can really grow and develop while they're here on campus. We're a Division 3 team, Division 3 NCAA for sports. That's also something to keep in mind. And as I mentioned earlier, 90% of students are living on campus all 4 years. One of the biggest reasons why students look into the University of Rochester is because we have an open curriculum, which is basically, we want to make sure that your interests are on the front line of every decision that you're making as far as your academics, right? There's no general education courses. Pretty much, if you want to be a biology major and you don't want to take an English class ever again, perfect, you don't have to. If you're someone who is very passionate about history and you don't want to even look at a calculus textbook again, congratulations, you don't have to. So that's something we also want to take pride in ourselves, that we allow students to really have their interests on the front line of everything that they do, so they can really figure out what their passions are. Along with that, around 45% of students are double majoring at the University of Rochester. That's because it's really easy to kind of figure out what your interests are and kind of declare an additional major if you choose to do so. It's very flexible with the kind of classes that you have to take. We're also very good with study abroad. We want to make sure that if those kinds of experience, you can have the opportunity to do that if you want to do that while you're here in undergrad, and then also very strongly with internships and research positions as well. And that kind of goes into the other reasons why students look into us, is because of our research. We are a tier 1 research institution, which means that it's fancy government work to say that that we get a lot of funding from to form new knowledge. So what the university does with that funding is to make sure that there's more than one way to for students to engage in research. All teaching faculty at the University of Rochester is also research faculty. So every professor that's going to be giving you a lecture is also doing research within their department. So it's really easy to engage with them and get started, in research if you want to do research, by just asking them or sending them an email, be like, hey, we learned about this today. I'm really interested in learning more. Is there anything going on? So that's very easy to kind of get that ball rolling if you choose to do so. We also have an office of undergraduate research if you want to talk to them instead, because sometimes professors are intimidating. That's okay. But we really want to make sure that if research is something you want to do, you definitely can do it. It's also not a requirement. So if it's not for you, that's also fine. I encourage you guys to take a screenshot here right now, just because we do offer early decision, regular decision. Also, if any of my transfer friends are here joining us, that's also information for transfer admissions. The newest thing would be that we offer early decision 2 now. So now you have several options to apply. And then in general questions, I'm here to answer. Also, that's our email line if you want to send any specific questions to us or any of our counselors. Talking more about application, we are test optional. So that's something that we're also very proud of. So if you took the SAT or you didn't take the SAT, that's okay. It really doesn't, we value both the academics and the non-academics for when we evaluate applications. So we take a holistic review of your application. So definitely the more ways you can highlight your experience and your involvement, both academically and non-academically, the better off you'll be, because we'll get to know more about you and your story, and we can get a whole bigger picture when we decide whether you're admitted or not. All right. Well, we are also, we have pretty much everything in social media. So if you have any other questions, feel free to contact us through either one of these medias. Also, we are very friendly and helpful at the office. So we're always there to help answer any questions through either phone call or email. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much, University of Rochester.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Up next is Luzerne County Community College.
Hello, can everybody hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Good afternoon. My name is Ed Hennigan. I'm the Assistant Director of Admissions here at Luzerne County Community College. The first slide that we had seen was a picture of our main campus. It's a beautiful 167-acre campus here in Nanticoke, Pennsylvania. Here's some facts about our college. We were founded in 1967, and we have over 100 majors, open door admissions, affordable tuition. We also offer financial aid and scholarships, and we have a 13-to-1 student faculty ratio, and we offer degrees, certificates, and diploma programs here at the college. Here is a map of our main campus, and on the left-hand side, we have a map of the off-campus locations. One of the great things about Luzerne County Community College is the fact that we have open door admissions. It's very easy to apply to the college. You would complete an application. You could apply right on our website. We don't require SATs or ACT scores. They're not required for admissions. You just need your high school transcripts if you're applying for financial aid or for one of our health science programs here at the college. Or if you're going to be transferring from another college, then you would also need to have your transcripts sent in to us. Academic and majors and programs, we have them all listed here. So you could take a look and you could see we have everything from business, health and wellness programs. If you're a student that may be undecided, we also offer general studies, and we also offer many career pathway programs for students. LCCC costs 50 to 75% less than any other college or university. Our college offers financial aid and scholarships, and we also have a college work study program, and we also have a monthly payment program. If anybody would like some more information on the financial aid, we have the web pages listed, and we also have the phone number listed for our financial aid office. And that office is open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. So you can contact financial aid directly, and our school code is also listed at the bottom of the page. We also have an early college program, And this is an opportunity to earn college credits while you're still in high school. And with this program, if you decide that you want to take classes at your high school, it would be $40 a credit. If you take it on our campus, it would be $65 a credit compared to our regular tuition of $134 a credit. So you're saving a lot of money and earning college credits before you graduate high school. And the next slide mentions about transfer to four-year colleges and universities. If you're thinking about transferring once you receive your associate with us, whether it's to get your bachelor's degree, a master's, or even a doctorate, you could easily get your start here at our college. We are Middle States accredited, and our credits will transfer nationwide to all the four-year colleges and universities. And we do have a listing on our website of all the transfer agreements that we have with all the four-year colleges and universities. And we also have some dual admissions agreements with some colleges, and that includes scholarships based on the agreements. The scholarships range anywhere between $2,000 and $21,000. And those are the colleges and universities that we have the dual admission scholarships with. And if you would like to become a trailblazer, it's very easy. Here's the 3 steps. The first step is to apply online, submit your transcripts, take our placement test, create your LCCC student account. You would meet with an advisor, and then you would register for classes. And I'd like to thank you for your time tonight. If anybody would like to come in, if you want to take a screenshot of this page, it has my phone number. It also has my email address and the number for texting. And it also has my associate, Krista, has her phone number as well, and our director of enrollment management. Any one of us can set up a day for you to come in to take a tour. We are doing personal tours right now, small group and family tours. And we also have virtual appointments available as well if you decide that you don't want to come into the campus. We also have a college open house. That's going to be a virtual college open house. Will be tomorrow, next week on Wednesday, April 21st. It's in the evening at 6 p.m. And that information will be located on our website if you go to luzerne.edu. Thank you so much for your time tonight, and have a great evening.
Thank you very much, Luzerne. As we move to our next presenter, just a reminder to any attendees who recently joined us, you are welcome and certainly encouraged to ask questions to any of the panelists at any time utilizing the Q&A feature. But up next is Duquesne University.
Okay. All right. Hi, everybody. My name is Gabby. I'm an admissions counselor at Duquesne University. I'm just going to kind of get right into it. We have 6 minutes. So Duquesne is a private liberal arts Catholic university located in downtown Pittsburgh. We started back in the late 1800s because many immigrants from Europe came over to Pittsburgh area, and very common conversations were had that there was a lack of educational resources for the children of these immigrants. So a group of 5 or 6 Puritan priests rented a room upstairs of a bakery in downtown Pittsburgh with about 50 students, and Duquesne was born. So because of our founding, we are a Catholic institution. About 50% of our students self-report themselves as being Catholic on our application, with the other half being all types of faith or no faith at all. I get the question a lot, are there any expectations for me as a student? Do I have to go to church? Anything like that? You don't have to, but you can. In this picture here, you see our chapel in the background. Mass is offered every day. The only requirement we do have, though, is for our students to fulfill 1 religion class at their time at Duquesne. So we've grown exponentially since 50 students. We are almost 10,000 total with our total enrollment. That is undergrad and graduate students. Our undergraduate population is about 6,000 students, which is what all of you are today. You're all prospective undergraduate students. Being our medium size, we're still proud of our small student to teacher ratio of about 14:1, with the average class size being about 28. Some majors are larger than others, but that average 14:1 is a clear picture of how you'll still get that one-on-one attention. We are in downtown Pittsburgh. You will hear a saying on Duquesne's campus called, you'll hear somebody say, oh, on the bluff or up on the bluff. It's simply because we are located on a cliff, pretty much in the middle of the city. But because of our unique physical location, you don't get a lot of traffic. So you really do get the best of both worlds, being in the middle of everything without being in the middle of everything. Lots of greenery, lots of park-like space. But it's also 5 to 10 minute walk into Grant Street, which is one of the main streets into downtown Pittsburgh. I know this is a PACAC, so I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with Pittsburgh. We're about 5 hours from Philadelphia. Pennsylvania is a very large state, but Pittsburgh is home to so many different opportunities. Healthcare is huge here with UPMC. It's even a global company with locations all across the globe. Many different opportunities for internships, and of course, fun things to do. We love our sports. We have our Pirates, Penguins, Steelers. We are right across the street from PPG Paints Arena, which is where the Penguins play hockey, and our students really get a lot of deals and benefits with being a Duquesne student. And lots of places to eat. We have a cultural district, Pittsburgh Symphony Orchestra, Benedum Center, where there's stage shows. Hamilton came right before the pandemic hit. So lots to do in the area, no matter what your interests are. Really quickly, I just want to kind of go over, I'm not going to read this word for word, but our schools of distinction. What makes Duquesne so attractive to a lot of students are our direct entry programs. What this means is we have programs that require a master's degree, so speech language pathology, physician assistant studies, physical therapy, occupational therapy. At Duquesne, it is a one-time application, and that is when you're in high school. It's one and done. You have to maintain your strong academics throughout your undergraduate years to keep your guaranteed status into the graduate programs. But as you can see, our high pass rates on all of our exams, our board exams. Next slide here is going into our Steinway pianos. We have 68 Steinway pianos. So we have really much success all across the board in all schools. Something kind of cool, in fall of 2024, we are opening our own medical school. So we are opening our College of Osteopathic Medicine. It'll be the first Catholic medical school in Pennsylvania. And our students will be well prepared with their advisors to prepare them to apply to medical school, Duquesne and others, of course, due to the competitive nature. So something very exciting happening in our world. The application process, we are rolling admission. So what that means is we don't have set deadlines. I know a lot of this is probably repetitive with kind of everything else you're reading with your college research. We have one exception to that. That is our physician assistant program, that deadline being December 1st, giving you a decision by February 1st on that decision. The big decision day is May 1st. This is everyone's deadline. It's a national deadline, and I know we're all feeling it right now with us, the seniors, making their decision. But we are here to help you in the admissions office every step of the way. When you apply, we do need your application. We are a Common App school. We are a member of the Common App. Essay, letter of recommendations, high school transcript test scores, general admission, a 3.0 GPA and a 1080 SAT. Health sciences, PA, PT, OT, SLP, speech language path, is going to be 3.5 and 1180 SAT, 24 ACT composite to be considered, but we do take a holistic application review as well. You'll receive a merit scholarship automatically off acceptance based off of your GPA and test scores. This year, it's the lowest amount is $6,000, with the highest amount being $19,000, and you find that amount when you're accepted. Here's scholarship information. FAFSA opens October 1st, which determines your need eligibility based off of household income. And again, we go over all of those details with you in the admissions office, one-on-one with our counselors. Something I do want to mention as well, we are also hosting tours, in-person tours on campus. We are showing dormitories. We have a modified tour, so we're not showing the whole campus like we used to, but we are showing classrooms, and we are doing one-on-one meetings with professors. So maybe this summer or even the fall when it comes up, hopefully things are better by then, contact us in admissions and we can set that up for you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Duquesne. Now we're going to move on to the second half of our presentations, and up next is Virginia Commonwealth University.
Hi, everybody. I'm going to just share my screen here and get started. If you don't know much about VCU, we are a urban university. We are very diverse and inclusive, very important for us to have student success. Those are some of the values that we hold. The city that we live in is Richmond, Virginia. Richmond, if you haven't been there, is just a great mid-sized city. It's the capital of Virginia. There's a lot going on. Pretty much everything that you'd expect in a city is available in Richmond. And we have such a great relationship with the city of Richmond. It's just a great place for our students to go to school. One of the reasons that it's so great for our students is that we have over 150 community partnerships. So this allows our students to do internships and get jobs and do networking, get into community service, whether it's a nonprofit or a small business or a Fortune 500 company. So our students, no matter what their major is, they have opportunities to engage with the community. In fact, over half of our students do 2 or more internships before they graduate. So it definitely adds value to their education overall. As far as our location in what's around, we're about 2 hours from Washington, D.C. in North Carolina, about 2 hours from the Blue Ridge Mountains and Virginia Beach. So kind of easy access to a lot of things. We're walking distance from the James River. So if you want to kind of get out of the city, there's a lot of outdoor areas close by. And we're also walking distance to the Capitol. So political science type majors can take advantage of a lot of opportunities very close by. Now we, even if you never leave campus, there's a lot to do. So on campus, we have 500 clubs and organizations. We have fine and performing arts, Division I sports, as well as club teams and intramurals, in a fantastic workout facility. It's a repurposed old historic building, and it's just got everything that you'd want in a gym. Of course, as far as academics, we have a lot to choose from, about 70 different majors, 70 minors, and a number of certificates to choose from. I mentioned earlier, we're large. We have about 24,000 undergrads, but we do a lot to try to make it feel smaller for our students. So we have an average class size of 27 students. Student faculty ratio is 18:1, and we have a lot of resources for students just to make sure they're successful. So things like career services and free tutoring, academic advising. We have a workshop to help students transition from high school to college. And we also have one of our more special things is our honors college. So students, high achieving students can kind of get that small liberal arts college experience within the larger research university. There's a lot of perks involved. You can register early for classes, and there's a lot of activities that honors students get to do. And they're just part of a great dynamic group of students from all different majors throughout the campus. Okay. Just to give you an idea of the diversity of our academic offerings, we split all of our 70 majors into our schools and colleges, and you can see here we have quite a diversity. We do have a top-notch medical school, and we also have an arts program that's ranked #2 in the nation. So kind of both sides of the spectrum and everything in between. Engineering, a lot of hands-on opportunities there. We have some unique programs. Forensic science, we're the first federally accredited forensic science program in the nation. Homeland security and emergency preparedness. I believe we're the first school to offer that about 20 years ago. Cybersecurity is gaining some speed. So we just have a lot of different opportunities for students to mix and match majors and minors. One of the really interesting things we have is it's called the Da Vinci Center, and students can get a certificate of product. Let me read it right. Product Innovation Certificate. They will work with an outside company to develop a product, price it, make it look nice. So everything from beginning to end. So we'll take an art student, engineering student, business student, and humanities student. So they're all thinking and looking at it from different angles and working together. And it's just a great hands-on experience for our students. Of course, like to talk about scholarships. We would like to become even more geographically diverse. So we do offer scholarships for students with a 3.0 or better. We have been score optional now for a number of years. So we welcome students to apply without standardized tests. going forward as well. Study abroad is very popular with our students. We do have an arts campus in Qatar, and we have opportunities throughout the world, everything from 1 week to a full year. And just a couple other neat things. We do have one of the most exciting pep bands in the nation. They're called the Peppas. And we also have a monthly Shark Tank. So students who want to start their own business while they are still a student have that opportunity. And this is the James River that I talked about earlier near campus. So I think that's my time, but please take note of my email. I'm happy to follow up with any questions that I can help with. And thanks for coming.
Thank you, VCU. I see a few more attendees have popped in, so just another reminder, please do feel free to ask questions to any of the panelists utilizing the Q&A feature. But up next is Alfred University.
Well, good evening. It's great to be here. I'm just pulling up my information. Well, hello and welcome to Saxon Country. My name is Barb Condrate, and I'm actually an Associate Director of Admissions at Alfred, and I coordinate the admissions in Pennsylvania. So I'm really looking forward to working with any of you that might be interested in Alfred. It'll absolutely be my pleasure. So I'm here to share kind of the opportunities at Alfred and to share with you, we've been around for quite a while. We were founded in 1836. We're the second oldest co-educational institution in the country. We were inclusive from the very start, welcoming international students, students of color, and indigenous students well before many other schools in the United States. We're located in the beautiful Southern Tier region of Western New York. The village of Alfred is in a picturesque rural setting. It's unique because it's home to two colleges, Alfred University and a two-year school referred to as SUNY Alfred. If you've never made it to our neck of the woods, here's a map of campus, and you can easily walk from one end of campus to the other in about 10 minutes, depending on how fast you walk. If you know what you'd like to study, great, but if you don't, please don't worry. I know there's so much stress for students. One of the many reasons for attending college is to figure out what your passions are and explore different avenues for careers. Our campus has a community feel of about only 1,800 students. Our average class size is 18, and we have a 13-to-1 ratio of students to faculty. From our Center for Academic Success that has tutoring services, individualized plans for students' achievements, to actually our Career Development Center that'll help you find internships and jobs. I can guarantee you'll leave Alfred with the skills to make an impact on the world. But of course, all of this, you know, starts with academics. So let's look at our 4 academic units. We have a School of Art and Design. It's rated one of the top 10 art schools in the United States. If you're an art and design major, you'll create without constraint in a supportive multidisciplinary environment that encourages creativity, research, and travel. You won't major in a particular medium. As your BFA degree, it'll actually be comprehensive. You'll work in an interdisciplinary curriculum, and it'll allow you to explore all of the mediums we have to offer. You'll leave Alfred a creative, innovative maker who's adaptable to all the facets of the art world. Performing arts, we have 2 majors and several minors, and our facilities are just spectacular and a must-see when you visit campus, no matter what your major is. Our nationally ranked School of Engineering offers 6 different majors, and as you can see, we have some really unique programs. You can start out as an undeclared major your first year and consider them all. It's hands-on experience at Alfred. We have over 80,000 square feet of lab space where students learn, create, and explore their passions. The College of Liberal Arts and Sciences is our largest college with the most academic options and students enrolled. Students choose from over 60 majors and minors, and they have such great opportunities for research, hands-on learning, and travel. And our liberal arts and science college is also proud to have an active member, or to be an active member of Phi Beta Kappa. And also we have an amazing honors program that's open to all of our students at Alfred University. Our College of Business offers numerous majors and minors. And there's actually a 4+1 Masters of Business Administration that is an option for all of the majors at Alfred University, no matter what college you're in. Our business students are launching businesses from campus, working local, national, and international companies on different projects and internships, and travel around the globe to enrich their classroom experience. The College of Business also proudly holds that AACSB accreditation, an honor achieved by less than 5% of all colleges of business in the world. Now let's see what happens outside of the classroom. No matter what you choose, you know, college is definitely what you make of it. And at Alfred, there's so much to do. We have over 80 student organizations, things like the Outdoors Club, student organizations, and cultural clubs. We also offer 22 Division III varsity teams, and we also have club and intramural options. You'll definitely not be bored at Alfred University. AU is a residential college and a living residence hall. So it's so much a part of the experience. There's all different types of venues you can live in. You're going to develop great relationships that are going to last you your lifetime. And there's just so many different ways you can live at Alfred because we have a 3-year residency requirement on campus. Our dining options range from full service, all you can eat style to grab and go. There's just so many different things to choose from. We even have cooking classes at our community table located in our campus center. Now, also, I'd like to talk about the application process, just give you a very quick review. You can apply to Alfred University, the Common App, our application, or the Coalition app. They're all free to apply. Early action is December 1st. Regular decision or preferred deadline is February 1st. We just need your high school transcript, a letter of recommendation, and your essay. We're test optional through 2023. And if you're applying to our School of Art and Design, we do require a portfolio. Financial aid, we are so committed to making Alfred very, very affordable. If you'd like to be with us, we tend to be the best financial aid package of any student I work with. In any state, I coordinate most of our admissions out of state, and our students usually are very, very happy. 98% of our students receive financial aid. We just need your FAFSA, and we're very, very competitive with grants and scholarships, which are the things you do not pay back. At Alfred, we are open to having you visit us in person. We have been open in person with our students, very blessed all this year. We have not had to close down and be online this year, but we'd love to have you come and visit, or for you to contact me. I'd be very happy, and I'll put my contact information in here. But please, let me show you how we are outside of ordinary.
Thank you very much, Alfred. And now we're going to move on to our final presentation for this session, University of Delaware.
Hello and good evening. My name is John Cogan, and I am one of the admissions counselors here at the University of Delaware. So I represent Philadelphia in the state of Pennsylvania and then Southwest New Jersey. So some of you will have me as your admissions counselor and some of you will not, but I'm more than happy to answer any of your questions. And later on in this little presentation, you'll be able to see the link to meet your counselor and find out who they are. So the University of Delaware is located in the picturesque college town of Newark, Delaware. You can see on the map in the top left-hand corner that we are located in the northwest portion of the state of Delaware, which is the first state, as we like to refer to ourselves, as we were the first state to sign the US Constitution. We are one of the smallest states in the country as well, but we are small but mighty. We are about 20 minutes away from Wilmington, Delaware, which is the largest city in the state of Delaware, and less than an hour from both Philadelphia and Baltimore, Maryland. We're about an hour and a half to Washington, D.C., and just over 2 hours to New York City. We do have an Amtrak train station and a Megabus bus stop on our campus. So you do not even have to have a car in order to be able to access these locations. We also have a SEPTA train station on our campus. So for those of you local to the greater Philadelphia area, you can hop on a SEPTA regional rail train and head right onto campus. So there's lots of really fantastic opportunities that are available to you, both on our campus and off our campus. We like to say that the power of place is strong here at UD because of the opportunities that are available both on our campus and off. The state of Delaware is home to the most amount of Fortune 500 companies in the entire country. So that just leads to a lot of fantastic internship opportunities and job opportunities and opportunities for speakers to come to campus. And then our curriculums are very hands-on, from our maker lab for engineering to our esports arena that we just constructed in our student center. There's lots of opportunities that are available to our students to really apply the material that you're learning in the classroom. With over 150 different majors at the University of Delaware, we know that it's a challenge to figure out exactly what you want to do, from knowing exactly what you want to do with your life to having no idea what you want to do with your life, which is how I started my college career. There is a program that is available for you. With those 150 majors, there's a lot of different topics that are available. You can search by college, by name. You can search by topic or field, and really be able to figure out what's the right fit. If you click on a specific major within the program, you'll be able to see exactly what is offered, from information about the courses that are taught, to the professors that are in the program, to outcomes, both graduation and jobs. So there's lots that's available to you to learn about. All of these links will be included in the chat at the end, so definitely keep an eye out for that as well. We also have a fantastic website that talks about the outcomes of our students post-graduation, so you can really see exactly what's going on in the world with our UD students. So this is going to include everything from what students are doing when it comes to jobs and careers, to if they're going in for additional degrees, whether it's another bachelor's degree, a master's degree, a doctorate, or another form of education. All these surveys are completed within 6 months of graduating, so all of our rates are a static 6-month post-graduation rate, and we have that from 2015 all the way up to 2019. 2020 should be coming out soon. All of this is really helpful information so that you can make a really solid decision on knowing exactly what you want, what you want to do with your life. And then you, of course, are not going to just be spending your 4 years at the University of Delaware learning about the major that you're interested in going into. There's many different ways to add to your curriculum. 3 of which that you need to apply for while a senior in high school are our Honors College, our World Scholars Program, and our Scholars and Fellows Program. The Honors College is open to every single major at the university, and it really provides additional enrichment opportunities for students to challenge themselves and add extra layers to their curriculum so that you can really make the best experience of your life. It is a program that you will be able to apply to once you submit your common application, and generally the application is due by around the middle of January. Our World Scholars and Scholars and Fellows programs are opportunities to that you will apply for once you've been admitted to the university. World Scholars is a special design 4-year study abroad program where you will study abroad your first year. You will study abroad again in your junior year, and then in your sophomore year and senior year, you will have special on-campus opportunities. And then our Scholars and Fellows programs allow for students to really gain additional skills without having to add another major or minor, with topics ranging from cybersecurity, to community engagement and climate. And really, it is important that you check out all of our enrichment opportunities. You can see the website up here on the page. And really, there are lots of fantastic opportunities out there beyond that as well, from our over 350 student organizations to study abroad opportunities that are available to every single major at the university, including nursing and business and engineering. Now, when it comes to applying, we use the Common App or the Coalition App for our first-year students. You do have to submit an essay, the self-reported academic record, as well as a letter of recommendation or secondary school report. Traditionally, we have required standardized test scores, but we are hoping that the Faculty Senate will approve a continuance of waiving that requirement, allowing students to apply test optional. our deadlines are here, and then links to the all the information that you've seen today are going to be in the chat and here. So I'm going to stop my screen and let you all answer some more questions.
Thank you very much, University of Delaware, and thank you to all of our panelists for your great overviews. We do have time remaining, so attendees, please do feel free to keep those questions coming through the Q&A. While we're waiting to see what additional questions come in, perhaps we can do a round of questions here ourselves. So if I could ask our panelists to turn their video cameras back on, and I would pose the following question to you all, pretty open. I know 6 minutes is not very long, so what is one thing you did not have time to cover that you'd like to quickly discuss now? Maybe that's an event or tradition on campus, a fun fact about your school, an upcoming event, etc. And so we'll go in that same order, starting with Rochester.
Thank you, thank you. So if I were to say one thing that about the University of Rochester, it would be coming from an alumnus perspective like myself. There could be a lot of stress as far as the decisions that you make, within the next coming future, right? So maybe it's figuring out what your major is, figuring out where you're going to study, where physically are you going to want to go. So at least with the University of Rochester, the decision for having an open curriculum where you just apply to the school, and then once you're accepted to the school, you can explore any departments that you find interest in, was very liberating for me. So you can be a student who has that passion for chemistry, but also you want to try film, and then you also want to explore Italian if you want to. So we want to provide students that flexibility to really figure out what those passions are for you. So we still make you declare a major by the end of your second year, so you can still go in and try a couple things. But we still want to make sure that if maybe you have a primary interest with a secondary interest, but also wanting to do research maybe, or an internship, you can definitely do that. We want to make sure that that's something that you can do easily, financially as well, feasible for students. So we want to make sure that you can take advantage of everything. So that would be my last 2 cents about them. Thank you, guys.
Great, thank you. Luzerne?
Yes, hello, everybody, once again. I just wanted to remind everybody out there about the college open house, the virtual open house we're having. That's going to be next Wednesday evening at 6 p.m. And you can register for that event by going to luzerne.edu. And as soon as you get onto the admissions.edu, click onto admissions, and then you'll click onto open houses. And you can register for that event. And if you can't make that event, as I mentioned before, we have a listing of the virtual appointments that we have on campus, and also the on-campus tours if you'd like to come and tour the campus, and just to come down to the campus to experience the campus. And we can show you the faculty buildings, and the buildings that houses all the technology and trades, our health science buildings, Culinary Institute, whatever you might be interested in. And one thing about a community college, you're not going to spend a lot of money to discover what you want to do. So sometimes we'll have students who start at one major, then they might decide they want to go into another major, but they could afford to do it here because the tuition is very affordable. The average cost for the tuition for a 2-year associate degree is a little bit over $10,000. And that's fantastic. And we're funded by the county and we're funded by the state. So both the county and the state pay a quarter of our tuition before the student walks through the door. But if anybody does want to come to the campus, definitely contact me and I'll be happy to show you around. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Duquesne?
Yeah, this is the time of year where you're starting to plan your summer plans. I know a pandemic doesn't help, but visit all of the schools you're applying to. You might have an idea in your head of how you would think of the outcome, and you might visit and say, wow, this is amazing. It confirmed my passion for this, but it also might be the opposite. Wow, I really did not like that. Let's go back in the car and drive away. So that's something very important to keep in mind, and keep an open mind. And also while you're visiting, see if you can get any opportunities, if schools offer opportunities to sit with the professor, sit in on a class. I know with COVID that might be different, but it's always worth asking.
Great, thank you. VCU?
Hey there. One of the things that I did not mention that I think is kind of interesting about VCU, I talked a lot about how we are an urban university and how that's beneficial to our students. and being right in the city. But one of the neatest things we have is an outdoor adventure program. So we are able to take our students whitewater rafting, rock climbing, camping, biking, skiing. We provide all the equipment and the transportation. So if you're kind of you like the city, but you like getting to the outdoors, you can do both with VCU.
Great, thank you. Alfred?
Yes, I know one thing I briefly said at the very beginning is that we're the second oldest co-ed institution in the country, but we're actually the oldest co-ed institution in the country to always educate men and women in the same room and to always allow women to major in the same things that men do. We've always been inclusive. It's not a buzzword for us. And so I think that rolls over too, to trying new things. At Alfred, we don't have barriers. If you're majoring in one thing, you can try lots of different things at Alfred that have nothing to do with maybe your major, that you'll grow as a person.
Great, thank you. And Delaware.
So I think one of the big things that I always like to plug that I didn't have time to right now is just like, the University of Delaware is a really cool place to be. I am an alum, so I'm very like humble braggy about it and always like to talk about it. And I was able to convince one of my sisters to go as well, even though we're out-of-state students. So it's a really amazing experience where you're able to really feel like you can interact with professors on a first name basis. I did research with a professor my sophomore year. And so it's one of those things where you're always able to interact with people, even though we're a pretty large state institution. We have about 16 to 18,000 undergraduate students, but our student to faculty ratio is like 11 to 13 to 1. So it's a really fantastic opportunity where you're getting a small school experience in a pretty medium to large school setting. So it's definitely something to always experiment with. And if you want to reach out to me with further questions, because I know I went through my last few slides pretty quickly, you can always contact me at jcogan@udel.edu, even if I'm not technically your admissions counselor.
Great, thank you. And thank you again to all of our panelists for sharing your time this evening and sharing information about your schools. And certainly thank you to all of our attendees for joining us. Just a very quick few housekeeping items before we close out this session. When you do close this window, you will receive a very quick 4-question survey that we ask that you take a minute and complete. And again, there are 2 other blocks of sessions this evening. So if you haven't signed up for those yet, please do so. About 1 week from today, a recording of this session will be available on that same registration website. But thank you again to everybody, and students, good luck in your college search. Have a great evening.